Haters, ¿qué tal? ¿Cómo están? Les doy la bienvenida nuevamente aquí al canal El Hater, conmigo, su host, El Diablo. Les doy la bienvenida a una nueva sección, a un nuevo video en Conversaciones desde el Inframundo. Una entrevista muy especial, a una entrevista que me da muchísimo gusto tener. Tenemos aquí en el canal a unas leyendas del metal, nada más y nada menos que a Udo Dirkschneider y a su hijo con el que toca, Sven Dirkschneider, obviamente de la banda U.D.O, directamente desde Deutschland, Alemania, unas leyendas del heavy metal que recientemente, el 25 de agosto, es decir, el viernes pasado, lanzaron su más reciente material de estudio titulado Touchdown a través de Atomic Fire Records. Udo, Sven, how are you? Thanks a lot for being here in El Hater.
Yeah, hola Mexico, and
Hola, México.
yeah, we are fine and everything good. I mean, we are quite busy with interviews. Everything works out very well at the moment. Yeah, muy bien.
Great.
Likewise, everything's great here except for the rain outside. But
But a little bit of rain doesn't hurt anyone.
that's true. Yeah, it's very necessary. So yeah.
We need to cool the planet a little.
Oh yeah.
So guys, again, thanks a lot for being here. It's such a pleasure to have this unique combination of artists who are making this kind of great heavy metal, because your latest album is amazing. I actually made a review about it. I will leave the link here, so the people who haven't watched it yet can take a look at that, because it's a record 10 out of 10. And
okay, thank you.
Thank you for making such a great album. And without further ado, guys, this is the first question I got for you. It was formulated, is courtesy of Chuck Sherwood and John McEntee from the band Incantation. And the question is this one. Chuck asked, what's your favorite Lovecraft story? And John McEntee asked, what's your favorite kind of cheese?
Favorite kind of cheese is manchego cheese from Spain.
Okay, manchego.
Good choice. I would go for blue cheese, but only on a burger.
Very specific.
What was the first question again? Sorry, I didn't understand.
Yeah, don't worry. What's your favorite Lovecraft story?
Lovecraft story?
What is that?
An author, a writer.
Oh,
H.P. Lovecraft.
Okay, wow.
Cthulhu, the Call of Cthulhu.
Ah, okay. I'm not into that. I have no idea. I can't answer that question. I'm sorry.
Yeah, don't worry. Chuck is an occultism lover, an occultism wise man.
Okay.
So that's why.
Okay,
that's
cool.
the reason for the question. What about you, though? Have you read something from Lovecraft?
From what that means, Sven?
Lovecraft.
That's an author, ein Schriftsteller.
Ah, sorry, I didn't hear anything from this guy.
H.P. Lovecraft. Yeah,
Yes,
yeah. I heard the name,
Sorry.
but that's
No.
old, right? That's pretty old, right?
Yeah. I guess this side of the world is more famous than in Hero, because here is an institution on Gothic and horror stories.
Right.
Ah, no,
Is he American?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I heard the name. I heard about it, but I can't tell because I'm not into that. I'm sorry.
Yeah, me too. Sorry.
Yeah, no, we'll stick with the cheese one.
Yeah, the cheese.
Oh, yeah.
That's a good thing. That's a really good thing.
Great, man. Great. This is the kind of interview I knew it was going to be a very fun interview. And I got another question for you, and it's this one. Being in a band alongside, in your case, your son, Sven, in your case, your father, must be one of the most beautiful and hard things in a musician's life. What would you say is the thing you enjoy the most, and what is the thing that you don't enjoy so much about that?
Oh, enjoying definitely is for me touring I love touring, you know, playing live in front of people. Second is for me creating new music. That's the two most important things for me. And another important thing for me is that I still have fun to do this, you know.
Yeah.
And when it comes to in like the relationship that we have being father and son, I enjoy. I mean, of course, that's the most precious time. That thing that you can have is spending time together. So I mean, obviously, you can imagine my dad was on tour when I was young quite a lot. So we get to spend time that we didn't have back then. That's the most amazing thing about it. The downside or the thing that I hate is, of course, when it gets a little bit more, you know, personal, you know, when we have discussions and stuff like that.
Yeah.
Of course, you're on tour with a touring party. So, I mean, this is sometimes a little bit difficult to keep that separated, you know, from the touring life that we have together in the band. But I mean, this happens very, very rarely. So I'm just like, we just enjoy the time that we have together and we spend good times together. And that's the most important thing. And we have fun doing this. So I think it rarely happens.
Yeah, it really happens.
Yeah, I mean, it's also like, you know, I mean, on tour is not, we don't talking about really private stuff, you know, it's like more, it's like we're talking about what's going on, having fun, you know, and talking, I don't know what, but private things, I mean, it's good when the tour is over and we meet up with the family, you know, then you're talking about private things, but not on tour.
Yeah, you keep it professional.
Yeah,
we need to. I mean, you know, that's yeah. We're working in the business, and of course, I mean, music is the biggest fun and passion that we have. But on the other hand, yeah, it's a business. So I mean, we're doing that for a living. So of course, I mean, we need to keep it professional here. That's true.
Yeah, man. I get it. I get it. The next question is this one. For over 50 years, Udo, you have been rocking the world, and we all thank you for it. But at this stage of your life, can you imagine what could have been of you if you wouldn't have become a metal god? And Sven, what do you think you will be doing if you weren't in a band with your dad?
It's quite easy. Then I will working, then I have the factory of my parents, what my brother is doing at the moment. And that's what I was learning, you know, making tools and all that stuff. And that was normally the plan of my father to take over the factory. But I was more into this madness.
So I would be a media operator by now. I mean, I learned that stuff after school. So yeah, I think that would have been my path if I wouldn't have chosen to become a musician in the end. Yeah.
Thank the gods, you both of you went in the metal way, because man, we weren't enjoying such a great music you're making, and we got to be thankful of living in the age when Udo is making music.
Okay, perfect.
Guys, next question. I got to ask, what is your secret? I mean, with Touchdown, you guys are showing to all the world that there are no limits when it comes to creating art. Look at you, Udo, in your 70s, and you, Sven, in your 20s, and alongside Peter, Andrey, and Dee, you are a multi-generational band that just kick asses. What is the secret behind that epic achievement?
The secret in a way is, you know, don't sit down and try to make a copy of your last album or some albums before. Always, you know, like when it comes to start creating new songs, I mean, it's always new. You are always in a different mood if you start working on new songs. And you know, I mean, I can say, I think that not one U.D.O album is the same, you know. Okay, the basic, yes, but it's always a little bit different. Sometimes more harder, sometimes more melody, blah, 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 you know. We always try to keep getting it forward. I mean, it's also like the touchdown, you know, it's like the basic is still there, but there's a lot of modern stuff in there, you know. So I think Sven, the younger generation, can explain it a little bit in this way.
I mean, the thing is, the secret I would say is that everyone is open-minded in this band. You know, that's the most important thing, and that's why it always comes naturally that there's something new coming up. I mean, obviously, Andre D and I, we form the younger generation of that band. And of course, we have different approaches of writing music, you know. And then there's the other side, which is my dad. I mean, Peter wasn't involved in the songwriting process for that album, but there's the other side, which is my dad, who is a bit more traditional, I would say, which comes from experience, obviously. And that's what's happening. I mean, we come up with crazy ideas sometimes, and in the first place, he would say, "Whoa, can we do that?" You know. And then I go, of course, go and try it, you know, and he puts it in his direction. I mean, if he puts his voice on a song, it's his voice, so it's Udo, you know. I mean, there's no doubt about that. But I think it's so cool that he's keeping himself open-minded when it comes to trying out new things. And most of the time, when we tried out new things, that became my favorite songs. Like, for instance, The Betrayer. I love the range that he puts on that song. You know, you have the deep stuff, like the more mysterious voice coming, and then we go full straight on chorus, you know, which is Udo as its best. So, and that's so cool to see. And sometimes it needs a little push, you know, and say, go and try, and you will see it will work. And this time it worked out perfectly. And I think that's the biggest secret behind it, that no one is going like, oh, we need to do it this way, and we always did it this way. Or the younger generation goes, but I can't adapt to your old school style, you know? So yeah, there's no boundaries, you know, we can all connect and discuss things and try out things. And that's, I think, the secret behind it.
Yeah, and also another thing, nobody has an ego, you know.
Yeah.
It's not like somebody's like, oh, we have to do it like this and this and this and this and this. It's also not, we don't have a producer that's coming up and say, you have to do it like this and this and this and this. It's like, you know, it's like a teamwork what we have. And I think that's also another secret.
Yeah, man, and definitely it all shows in this latest album and in all of your albums because, well, particularly with Touchdown, I mean, the sound is, as you said, kind of old school, but it sounds so fresh, so propositive. It's so much fun. I had a great time listening to it, and I have heard it several times. I still have it on my phone. It's a great album, and all of the things you are saying is just in plain sight in this album. You can hear it, and it's so exciting to hear a record with these characteristics.
Yeah.
I have one last question for you guys, and is this one. After such a long run in the rock and metal scene, what are your thoughts and feelings when you see metalheads around the world dressed with Udo's shirts and singing your songs like they were theirs, all of them, children, teenagers, adults? What do you feel when you see and hear that?
Yeah, I mean, it is, how can I say this? That means we was creating also with my old band and now with U.D.O, you know, it's like we was creating some stuff and see that the people have fun, you know, and of course it makes you proud that they're wearing the shirts and they're really going nuts doing the concerts, you know. It's like that means you did something right, you know, in this business. I mean, being in this business like professional, let's say a little bit over 40 years, but music-wise, I'm already doing this for over 50 years. I mean, that means I'm still here. That means I did something right and give the people a good time, you know?
Yeah, man. What about you, man? What do you feel when you see your face, when you see Udo logo in the shirt, when you hear all the people singing along, screaming in the concerts, man?
I mean, it still gives you chills at the end of the day. I mean, if you sit up there and like, it doesn't matter if we go out as U.D.O or Dirkschneider when we play except classics only, it's crazy. I mean, that's the biggest appreciation that can happen, that people come to concerts, listening to your music, buying tickets, buying T-shirts, you know, and that's the coolest thing on planet Earth, you know, and that keeps you going as well. You know, it never gets boring. You meet new people. We love to talk to fans, to be connected to the fans. And overall, I must say that I'm really happy that the metal community is what it is, because it's one of the most loyal communities. The people are so friendly to each other, you know, taking care of each other, and that's the coolest thing to see, you know. And it doesn't matter where you go on planet Earth. I've never experienced anything else, you know, and that is really cool to see, and to be part of it is yeah, the most amazing thing.
Yeah. Last time, if I'm not wrong, if I'm not mistaken, you came to Circo Volador here in Mexico City, and all of the bands that I have talked to are sharing one thought about their shows in Mexico, and it is that the Mexican crowd, the Mexican audiences are crazy, man. That they are just throwing themselves to the air and into the floor, just because they enjoy so much hearing the bands playing live here in Mexico. What are your memories, your best moments in Mexican soil?
Yeah, I mean, Mexico, I mean, it's also like, I mean, the people are getting really crazy during the concerts, you know. I mean, they're really into that. I think they really, how can I say that, with the heart, you know, they're singing along, and I don't know. I mean, it was always fun. I mean, I've been so many times in Mexico, you know. I mean, smaller clubs, bigger arenas and stuff like that. And it's always nice to be there, you know. And yeah, hopefully we touchdown. We also make a touchdown in Mexico.
Yeah.
No, it's really cool. I have really good memories. We played 3 shows, I think, in Mexico last year. And all of them had been amazing. I mean, Circo Volador is such a cool venue, and the people go crazy. For me, it always is football stadium atmosphere. It doesn't matter how many people there are. It's singing along, as you say, going crazy, going wild, and that's really that's an experience that if you have the chance to experience that as a musician, that's fantastic, you know. And I really love playing Mexico. Haven't been there too often, but I hope that we come back as soon as possible, especially with this album. I would really love to go there and yeah, play for the people. It would be awesome.
Yeah, man, hearing it live will be just madness because, as I said before, it's such a great album, man. It feels like it's your first one because you all have this energy, this power in all of the elements of the album, in the drums, the guitars, obviously the singing, the bass is powerful. Everything just clicks.
Yeah, that's the feeling that I have as well. There's not a single song on that album where I think, nah, you know, most of the times you have like 1 or 2 songs where you think, you know, nah, and there's no filler, you know, on that album. It is just from beginning to end. It's like, as you say, very powerful and straightforward, and yeah, it's enjoyable to hear all these reactions that we get nowadays for Touchdown, and it's really cool to know that we achieved something great with this album. And yeah, we really happy that it finally saw the world last Friday, and the reactions keep on coming, and they are all great. So yeah, that's lovely.
I mean, it's also like, you know, another thing is with this album, it shows us that we have no limits. We can do. I'm really looking forward to the next album already, you know. This album shows us that we can do also different things, you know, without losing the basic. And that's a good thing also, you know, to see, okay, it works.
Yeah, and that's the spirit, man. It certainly is one of the things that made you who you are and made Udo a band with such a long and successful career, a band we all can enjoy for a long time in the future, I hope.
Yeah, I mean, as long my voice is working, as long I'm healthy, and as long we can tour nearly all over the world, I mean, where is the reason to stop? You know,
Yeah.
I mean, and also for me personally, is one thing very important. I still have fun to do it, you know, and that's the thing. That's for me the most important thing, you know. I still have fun to do this.
Yeah, man, and if I may say it, you look great, man. You sound even better. I mean, it seems like you are like a good Italian wine.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, of course, it's like, you know, I mean, I don't know. I mean, the voice, I mean, I can just a quick example when I was recording the vocals with Stefan Kaufmann. I mean, Stefan Kaufmann, he knows my vocals since, he recording my vocals since 81. And he said to me, I don't know, your voice is a miracle. I mean, you sing sometimes higher than in the 80s, and also now you can sing lower. He said, this is a miracle, you know. I mean, of course, I think I'm very, very lucky. I mean, I know a lot of colleagues in this business. They have some problems with the voice, you know. But for me, I don't know. Thank you very much.
Yeah, man, it's weird.
Yeah.
Yeah, man. And guys, those are all the questions I got for you. And as we were talking before we started to recording, I ask of you if you can give me one question each so I can use them with my next guest here in Conversations from the Underground. As I said before, it can be music related, personal, a movie question, a food question, anything you like. I will use that questions in my next interview.
Mach mal, Sven.
Okay, I go for let's see. What is your favorite John Wick movie?
Okay.
What is your favorite book?
Your favorite book? Yeah. Using a lot more of the spectrum, not so specific like the Chuck one.
Yeah. Easier to answer for the next interviews.
It will be easy. I hope.
Yeah.
Oh no, let's change it. A book,
Yeah.
But what is your favorite biography from any actor or musician?
Oh, a very good one. That will be. I think that will be a little trickier to answer for my next guest, but we will sort it out.
Cool.
Okay.
Guys, thanks a lot for your time. I admire all of your work with your previous band, with U.D.O, Dirkschneider, everything the Dirkschneiders are making. Man, it's such a great music. It's art on its finest because I enjoy it. I have shared it with lots of my friends, and when they hear it, it's like, oh, what the hell is happening, man? This is so great. I have to have this album. And they go back to previous albums because I have assured them that all of this energy, all of this quality, it's in all of the records you are making. And I can thank you enough for your time and for still making this music. It's a great honor to talk to both of us, the Dirkschneider dynasty.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you. Okay.
Haters, eso es lo que tenemos en esta entrevista con los Dirkschneider, U.D.O y Sven Dirkschneider de la banda U.D.O. Recuerden escuchar su más reciente álbum Touchdown a través de Atomic Fire Records, que salió a la venta el 25 de agosto. Nos estamos viendo en el siguiente video. Por favor, haters, cuídense mucho. Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.
Hasta luego.